Hi everyone, thanks so much for taking the time to join me today. I really appreciate you carving out some space in your busy schedules. Sarah, David, great to see your faces popping up here.
Hi Jella, glad to be here. Good to see you both too.
Hey Jella, thanks for setting this up. Looking forward to hearing what you put together.
As you know, I've been working on a task related to a complex issues we're facing in the agency right now. And I wanted to walk you through my proposed solution and get your invaluable feedback. The challenge we're facing. So the core problem we're seeing resolves around two big trends in our industry, Google's EEAT guidelines and the increasing prevalence of AI-generated content. We've noticed that some of our content, while still good, isn't performing as well in search ranking as it used to. This impacts our clients' visibility and ultimately their results.
You're absolutely right, Jella. We've been seeing those shifts in the SERPs on our end. It's definitely something we need to address strategically and consistently.
Yeah, from my perspective, the EEAT updates have been pretty significant, and the sheer volume of AI content coming out really complicates how we ensure our clients stand out and Google still trusts their information. It's a tricky balance to maintain quality and scale.
Exactly. The AEAT framework, as you know, really emphasizes providing experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And with AI content, while it offers incredible efficiency, we need to ensure we're using it ethically and in a way that enhances those EEAT signals rather than diluting them. It's a complex puzzle because there's no single quick fix, which is why we need a robust solution. My proposed solution, building capability. After a lot of research and internal discussion, including our initial chats, Sarah and David, I landed on what I believe is the most foundational and effective solution, developing a comprehensive AI content governance framework and an internal training program.
A governance framework and training. That sounds like a very proactive and sustainable approach. Jella, I'm glad to hear that's where your researcher led you, especially as we look to scale our content efforts responsibly.
I definitely agree with the need for clear guidelines, especially with AI. It's a bit of a wild west out there right now, and we need our own compass. Equipping the team with a strong understanding of how we weave EEAT into AI-assisted content is critical for long-term SEO health.
My thinking here is that to truly tackle both EEAT and AI content responsibly, we need to empower our entire team with the right knowledge and clear guidelines. It's about building our collective capability and establishing clear operational boundaries rather than just implementing a single new process and hoping for the best. How will make it happen? The plan. I broken down the implementation into 4 key phases. I won't go through every single task now, but here's the high-level overview. Number 1, framework development. First, we'll dive deep into best practices for EEAT and ethical AI. From that, we'll draft and finalize our agency's official AI content governance framework and our updated EEAT content guidelines. This sets the rules for how we'll operate moving forward, and it's a critical first step. Second, training material development. Once the framework is solid, we'll build out all the training materials, think presentation, practical examples, case studies specific to our clients, and even some quick assessments to make sure the information sticks and is truly understood. The third one is training delivery. Then comes the hands-on part. We run comprehensive training session for everyone on our content, marketing, and SEO teams. This is crucial for consistent understanding and application across the board, so everyone is on the same page. The fourth one is implementation and monitoring. Finally, we'll integrate these new guidelines into our everyday workflows. This means updating our checklists, project templates, and then continuously monitoring how things are going. We'll be looking at performance data and gathering feedback to iterate and improve as we go, because this will be an ongoing process.
I appreciate the pace approach, Jella. It makes a lot of sense to build it out systematically rather than trying to do everything at once. The framework development pace sounds like it needs to be really robust to set us up for success and give us a solid foundation.
Yeah, I'm particularly interested in phase 4, the implementation and monitoring. That's where we really see the rubber meet the road, and where SEO performance will either confirm or challenge our approach. How will we specifically measure the impact on our rankings and client performance within that phase?
That's a great question, David. I mapped out the specific tasks, resources, and timelines for each of these phases, aiming to have the initial training completed by mid of July. It's a structured approach to ensure we get this right, and those metrics will be key performance indicators we'll track closely. Your thoughts are key. Now, this is where your expertise comes in. I'm really keen to get your candid feedback on this proposed solution. This is a collaborative effort. From your perspective, what do you see as the biggest strength of this approach? Are there any potential challenges or limitations that immediately jump out at you? What about risk I might have overlooked, or perhaps even opportunities to make this plan even stronger? Please fire away with any questions or suggestions you have. You can just unmute and jump in, or if you prefer, pop a question in the chat. This isn't just plan, it's our agency path forward, and your input is incredibly valuable to make the best it can be.
Thanks, Jella, for pulling this together. It's clear you've put a lot of thought into it, and I really appreciate the detailed plan. I really like that you're focusing on a framework and training. It feels like we need a solid internal understanding before we can tackle client-facing strategies effectively. My initial thought, as we discussed briefly, is about the scalability. How quickly can we get everyone up to speed, especially with ongoing client work and deadlines?
Yeah, I agree with Sarah. The training aspect is crucial for sure. From an SEO's perspective, the governance framework is absolutely key. We need to make sure content isn't just good, but also clearly signals EEAT to Google algorithms on a consistent basis. I'm also thinking about the practical application. How do we ensure writers consistently implement these new guidelines in their new daily output, and that it doesn't slow them down too much initially or become overly burdensome?
Those are both excellent points, and definitely things I've been considering deeply. Sarah, regarding scalability, the plan includes the dedicated phase for training materials development, and then we run multiple sessions to accommodate team schedules. The idea is to front load the knowledge transfer so teams feel confident David, your point about practical application and not slowing down the writer is exactly why the implementation and monitoring phase includes updating our templates and checklists. We want to make it as intuitive as possible, almost like building new muscle memory. But yes, initial adjustments are to be expected as with any new process.
That makes a lot of sense. And speaking of updates, how do you envision the framework staying current? AI is evolving so fast, and Google's algorithms are constantly tweaking. What's the plan for keeping the evergreen?
Absolutely, Sarah. That's a key risk I identified from the start. My thought is to establish a quarterly review cycle for the framework and guidelines, led by myself and David, to incorporate any new AI developments or algorithm shift that Google rolls out. It will be a living document essentially with regular updates to keep us cutting edge.
Quarterly review sounds smart and necessary. One final thought for me. Have you considered doing a small pilot group of content pieces using the new framework before rolling it out agency-wide? Just to iron out any kinks and get some early wins we can showcase.
That's a fantastic idea, David. I actually built that into Objective 1. We're aiming to pilot a new content creation workflow incorporating EEAT principles for these 5 key clients by the end of October. It will be a great way to test the framework in action, gather real-world insight, and demonstrate its effectiveness before full-scale deployment. This has been incredibly helpful. Thank you both so much for time and for sharing your candid insights. Your feedback is going to be instrumental in refining this plan and making sure it's robust and truly effective for our agency moving forward. I'll be incorporating your feedback and will share an updated overview with you soon. Thanks again for joining the Zoom call.
Thanks, Jella. Good work. Looking forward to the updated plan.
Yeah, thanks for this, Jella. Great stuff. I think this is a solid direction.